Manny Pacquiao wants a rematch. He wants punishment for Floyd Money Mayweather, who's 49-0 now, 26 KOs, who cheated using an illegal IV. And the question is, did he do that to cover up steroids, performance enhancement drugs? Enter the arena, the Don Juan Banks. I was having a conversation with Mr. Kenny Lopez earlier today, and it was very ironic that Gabriel Montoya put out on Twitter Floyd's 30-day weigh-in for Pac-Man fight was 150.5 pounds. Why the need for an IV infusion? Now, what I try to explain to people about this situation is that no matter how you put it, no matter how you slice it, no matter if the Nevada State Athletic Commission validates, the fact is the World Anti-Doping Agency did not permit the use of anything intravenously. And the people that have found me here on this channel and found the message that Kenny Lopez put out a long time ago on the uncensored video, the uncut video that's on this channel that has over 3,000 views right now, where he predicts the state of boxing, basically understands that no matter what statement Floyd released or USADA, or the Nevada State Athletic Commission, facts are facts. When a man says that he is open to 24-hour testing through USADA, that's supposed to be the gold standard, but was caught in the past for waivers, exemptions, and Eric Morales was pissing dirty, and the New York State Athletic Commission had to come down on USADA because of a report. When Mayweather and Al Heyman have the CEO of USADA, Travis Tygart, in their back pocket, when USADA has a 6.1 ratio and BADA has a 4.1, something Floyd Mayweather will never take in his goddamn life. BADA, he doesn't want nothing to do with it. Now he doesn't have to have anything to do with it because he's running away, he's cowering, he's hiding, and he's trying to protect a false, farce, charlatan legacy, a moniker that was made up, the best ever. And you have to understand that Floyd Mayweather has all these things in his back pocket, and we went through this on many occasions. And he used with his bout with Pacquiao, and this is things he's been using for a very long time. And we go through the entire list here. If you don't know, now you know. The Nevada State Athletic Commission. He fights in Las Vegas. He puts a lot of checks into people's hands. He brings in a lot of revenue, a lot of money outside, endorsements, things like that. A lot of people come down, and that's why he always fights in Las Vegas. Not to mention that Zolocaine is legal there, which he uses on his hands, a numbing agent. And a lot of people didn't know about that, and we revealed that information. Then you have USADA, the United States Anti-Doping Agency. They are not the most stringent. They are not the gold standard. Victor Conte said on multiple occasions that Floyd Mayweather determines when the test will be taken, how many tests there will be. They're in his back pocket. They will give him a therapeutic use exemption 18 days. 18 days. 18 days after the fact. And he will walk away scot-free when a guy like Nick Diaz, for smoking something that should be legalized, marijuana, is given a 5-year ban by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. But Floyd Mayweather, because he has people in his back pocket, because he has payoffs, is allowed to walk away scot-free. The weight. Look what Gabriel Montoya says. He says He weighed 150.5 pounds. Why did he need an IV infusion? Because he said that he needed for rehydration purposes. When Floyd has went on record so many times, I don't have a problem making weight. He was 150.5 pounds, but he's using over 700 milliliters of vitamins and saline that is banned by WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and did not notify the Nevada State Athletic Commission until the time for approval, way after the fact, is given the chance to walk off and no penalty, where Bob Bennett, the director, said that this might not never happen again. This might not never happen again. So no shit, Sherlock, it won't happen again because the guy is retiring. And what a horrible performance. I mean, not a horrible performance on Floyd, but as a pay-per-view, as a horrible performance. We knew that Berto was not going to bring it because he's a C fighter now. And he wouldn't fight him on a come-up with 27-0. Remember, then he lost to Victor Ortiz. And Mayweather painted Victor Ortiz like he was this big thing. And he's a quitter. And his hands were lowered and got knocked out. That's his fault because you got to protect yourself at all times. I said that back then. I'm going to say it now. But imagine, he did that to Victor Ortiz and he fights Berto years later because he was scared to fight black fighters. If you didn't know, you better look it up. I said it so many times. Timothy Bradley, Sean Porter, Devin Alexander, Lamont Peterson. The list goes on and on and on. And so he fights Berto. Berto loses to Robert Guerrero. Looks like E.T.'s phoning home. He fights Berto on his knees like a street corner hooker against Jesus Soto Kras. And Berto wins these two fights against Chambers and Josecito Lopez, where Lopez was outboxing him. And all of a sudden, I don't give a fuck about how you think. He never cared about how you think. That's why he said he'd be a rich coward and he's walking away. Took all your fucking money. And you spread it open wide for him because he's Floyd Money Mayweather. And he ripped you off. But you're still loving the nigger. But it's fine. Listen, the weight, we don't know what the weight is, but he says he didn't need he needed rehydration, but he used the illegal IV in his home, by the way, if you didn't know that, in his home. The referee, Kenny Bellis, first fight he refereed, last fight he refereed. This man, you touched Floyd Mayweather one time, and I tell you, he let over 71 clinches against Marcos Maidana in the second fight. Unbelievable. The shoulder, we knew Manny Pacquiao had an injured shoulder. The MRI revealed that it was re-aggravated during training. It was aggravated during the fight. He sent spies into the camp. He knew this well beforehand. So if you're going to sue Manny Pacquiao, definitely sue Floyd Mayweather. But Pacquiao went in under the pretense that he was good enough to go into the fight. And remember, Mayweather never wanted the fight, even accused Pacquiao of using steroids, but when they went to court, he settled, and then when Pacquiao countersued, he refused to bring that subject up because wonder why. Is he on that shit? Remember, I did the interview with Angel Garcia, and I love Lamont Peterson. Not saying anything bad about him, but he said Lamont Peterson was on that shit. And I'm not. That's not coming out of my words. Because I love Lamont Peterson, and I'm not saying that. And I would love to interview Lamont Peterson again. And he's a great guy. Dirty tactics. You know, he clinches. He put the gloves over the mouth, the nose, elbows, anything he can use. Excessive clinching. Cop box was inaccurate. Not just in the Cotto fight, but in the Pacquiao fight. He has Angel Memo already on the payroll, and the scandalous, treacherous, cunning Alex Ariza. He learned this from the Hell brothers, the vampire facials, the blood doping. Jeff Cotto talks a lot about that in Thunderdome Boxing. Remember, he got the therapeutic use exemption against Mosley and Cotto. He's talking about lawsuit. And that's where Pacquiao won, because he kept on saying that Pacquiao was on steroids, and he got him with a defamation, and he lost, and he don't want to talk about that. And then Bill Brady, who was part of the Nevada State Athletic Commission since 2007, stepped down. And remember, Bob Bennett had said, basically, this better not never happen again. That was his first thing. But Mayweather released a statement, and because, there's a lot of, Floyd Mayweather fans who leave their comments. I call them Flomos. And his career is over, so, take it for what it's worth. He won't be back. It's too risky for him. Deep inside, he doesn't want to fight Pacquiao again. He had to use all those and more. And in my opinion, he still lost. Kenny Lopez feel the same way. I had a former person that was my friend said that I was ludicrous for picking Pacquiao after the fight, was talking shit about me. And basically, they can go fuck themselves, because the person you see on screen is the person you see right here. And this is exactly how I felt about the situation. But Floyd Mayweather and USADA released statements, whether due to general misguiding of the facts or intentional desire to mislead. Numerous unfounded and false accusations have been leveled against USADA in recent online article. The USADA statement reads, as was already publicized report in May of this year by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Mr. Mayweather applied for and was granted a therapeutic use exemption by USADA for an IV of saline and vitamins that was administered prior to his May 2nd fight against Manny Pacquiao. Mr. Mayweather's use of the IV was not prohibited under the Nevada State Athletic Commission rules at that time and would not be a violation of the Nevada State Athletic Commission rules today. Nevertheless, because Mr. Mayweather was voluntarily taking part in the USADA program and therefore subject to rules of WADA code, he took an additional step of applying for a therapeutic use exemption. The IV infusion was administered in order to remain in compliance with the USADA program. Mayweather said, as already confirmed by the USADA statement, I did not commit any violations of the Nevada or USADA drug testing guidelines. He wrote, I follow they have always followed the rules of Nevada and the USADA and the gold standard of drug testing, which is not, because he determines when he's going to be tested. Let's not forget, I was the one 6 years ago who insisted on elevating the level of drug testing for all my fights. As a result, there is more drug testing and awareness of its importance in the sport of boxing today than ever before. I am very proud to be a clean athlete and will continue to champion the cause. That was the end. It's a lot of people saying, well, that is the vindication and the vilification, the validations are, because I'm being vilified, to be honest. Being called coon, nigger, Uncle Top, I was wondering where you were at. I'm pushing the subscribe button. Why are you subscribing to me if you said that you hate my guts and you don't like me and you want me to go out of business, and I don't know shit about boxing, but I predicted all the fights right except for one, and then you find me here and now the subscribers are going through the roof because you found me? It seemed like you need to get your fix. But the thing has been fixed. Mayweather fixed this whole shit. And the people who know what I'm talking about know what I mean, because the proof is in the pudding. It's right in front of your face. Kenny Lopez. Gary Montoya put this out. I brought his name up several times in our video on how he's very knowledgeable on the USADA and VADA testing. Anyways, everything he's saying is correct. Why would he feel the need to take an IV infusion when he was 150.5 pounds a month before the fight? He's never had trouble making weight. Now all of a sudden he's having trouble. Hilarious. He's definitely took the IV infusion for a reason, and it was because he needed it for dehydration. It wasn't because he needed it for dehydration. And anyone with a brain that uses it can figure it out. Anyone who believes Mayweather's story is a complete idiot. He says, yes, he feels that Gabriel Montoya is telling the truth. Now, I went out and I found this article. and it is going to blow your mind. Because I don't come on here to bullshit you. I don't come on here for ratings. I don't come on here for to be number one. I come on here because I want to come on here. I have a job outside of here. I'm a director. I'm a producer. I get on and I'm not acting. This is the real me. And you better understand that Floyd Mayweather is the devil, and he has his hands in the cookie jar, and Al Heyman and him are in collusion with each other, because like Mike Tyson said, it's like a gang, and Al Heyman is in control. He has over 200 fighters now. He has the PBC series. It's on Spike TV. It's on ESPN. It's on NBC, ABC, and it's even on more. And the thing about it is, I'm not mad at you. Oh, Heyman, you're an ultimate opportunist, you're this, you're that. But the thing about it is, Floyd Mayweather is a piece of dog shit. And I woke up and smelled the coffee, and I smelled the flowers, and what Floyd Mayweather told me was gold was actually shit. And that rainbow was nothing but a facade. And when I realized that I could no longer support that agenda, and I chose to get the fuck away from it, and that's why I'm still standing here today. Be the best ever, you know, whatever, go in the sunset. Your records will be broken, and you will be the past, and people are not going to ever give you the 100% credit for this, because what you need to do is take your ass and step it back in the ring and prove it without a legal IV in all these circumstances. But that's not going to happen. Floyd Mayweather will never fight again. And the reason why he won't is because he got caught, and he literally got away with it. BusinessMirror.com. This is going to blow your mind. That's why I come on Enter the Arena. That's why you subscribe. We will be covering Triple G versus Lemieux. That is guaranteed. We will be covering Broner. We will be covering the fights in the future, the big fights, Canelo and Cotto, because I have a crazy schedule these days. So to make sure I cover that, and we're going to be covering big UFC fights. This is strictly UFC and boxing, real sports, real combat, no WWE, no fake wrestling on this channel. I love wrestling, but it doesn't belong with this. Simple as that. The people have spoken to me, and I'm speaking back. I'm not going to waste your time with that anymore. A few days ago, Thomas Hauser of SB Nation reported that Floyd Mayweather had vitamins injected into him intravenously, IV, on the eve of his mega fight with Manny Pacquiao. Hauser stated that the IV injections added up to 750 milliliters of fluid the day before the May 2nd fight. Mayweather won the fight by unanimous decision over Pacquiao, who was found out later to have fought him with a torn rotator cuff. Remember, Pacquiao was denied his shot of Toradol from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. But it was already reported to USADA, and he didn't get it. And this writer named Don says that the fluids that the boxers camp said were in the injections, mixture of saline solution and vitamins, would have been inherently illegal, but the quantity in that time frame could have masked another substance and would have been in violation of the rules set forth by the World Anti-Doping Agency, adding further mystery to what is now becoming a controversy. And another claim of Don. Furthermore, representatives of the USADA, the United States Anti-Doping Agency, which is supposed to abide by WADA rules, became aware of the injections when they went to administer a drug to test Mayweather. But the agency failed to report the incident to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, which sanctioned the fight. The Nevada State Athletic Commission was only made aware of the injections nearly 3 weeks after the bout. 18 days, 18 long days. And even then, USADA claimed that it granted Mayweather a therapeutic use exemption, basically a get-out-of-jail-free card. You know, when you play Monopoly, you get the get-out-of-jail-free. That's what Mayweather got. He was able to get that card, fight Berto, and retire and say, I'm the best ever, and I'm better than Muhammad Ali, I'm better than Sugar Ray Robinson, and I cheated. Which some experts quoted by Hauser found very odd at the very least. One such expert Hauser quoted was Victor Conte, who, Don writes, gained notoriety as a peddler of performance enhancement drugs, PEDs, steroids, in the Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative case, Balco, together with Memo Hernandez, Angel Memo Heredia. The later begin in the Juan Manuel Marquez corner for Marquez's last fight with Pacquiao in December 2013, but who has since become an anti-ped advocate. Isn't that strange? There are strict criteria for granting a therapeutic use exemption. You don't hand them out like candy, and this sort of IV use is clearly against the rules. It's very suspicious to me. I can tell you that IV drugs clear an athlete's system more quickly than drugs that are administered by subcutaneous injection. So why did USADA make this decision? Why did they grant something prohibited? Marshalling other sources, Don quotes Bob Bennett, who has been executive director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission since April 2014 and who was previously a FBI agent, told Hauser the therapeutic use exemption for Mayweather's IV, and the IV was administered at Floyd's house, not a medical facility, and wasn't brought to our attention at the time, was totally unacceptable. See, no matter what you say about the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Bob Bennett, okay, the executive director, said that it was totally unacceptable and it should not happen again. Hauser's account is fascinating and arouses suspicion as he quotes other concerns raised by the lengthy SB Nation report. The USADA, United States Anti-Doping Agency, a non-government agency that receives about $10 million in annual funding from Congress, appeared to have given favorable treatment to some boxers, including Mr. Mayweather and the aforementioned Eric Morales, who pissed dirty in 2012 for PEDs, steroids, and reported failed several more tests, although the New York State Athletic Commission was not informed of the failed tests in a timely manner. They found out later. It's when somebody dropped a dime. Mayweather's camp claimed that the fighter is subject to 365 days, 24/7 by USADA, but in reality, he determines when the testing period begins. In the case of Andre Berto fight, a flop at the box office and pay-per-view, which Mayweather won handily by unanimous decision, and begin when the event, when he had rumored for weeks, was unofficially announced in early August, by which point Mayweather potentially could have undergone an assortment of treatments following the Pacquiao bout. Let me read this to you again, because you might not be getting this. They're basically telling you what Mayweather did. He determines the testing period. In the case of Andre Berto fight, that began when the event, which had been rumored for weeks, was officially announced in early August, by which point Mayweather potentially could have undergone an assortment of treatments following the Pacquiao bout. Do you see what I'm saying here? Mayweather did not start with the USADA testing until he officially announced the fight, but the fight we knew was going to happen before then because Berto was already in training. And he knew he was going to fight. TMZ even broke the story. I was just waiting for it to come out the horse's ass. As Conte put it, I can tell what Mayweather is and isn't doing. What he could be doing is this. The fight is over. First, he uses these drugs for tissue repair. Then he can stay on them until he announces his next fight, at which time he's the one who decides the next round of testing starts. And by that time, testing starts, the drugs have been cleared from the system. I have just given you, with the help of Kenny Lopez, the most informative video you're ever going to get on this subject. You need to send it out to everybody now because people have flagged me down in the past and they're trying to do everything in their power to get me off again. And I came before you today to clearly state to you that Floyd Mayweather may have had PEDs, performance enhancement drugs, steroids, in his system, along with all these other things that he has used to defeat Manny Pacquiao. In fact, he didn't lose. Pacquiao. The drug testing contract with USADA agreed to by Mayweather and Pacquiao provided for exemptions to WADA. In 2012, Pacquiao's camp rejected a proposed contract clause that could have allowed USADA to grant a retroactive therapeutic use exemption without notifying the Nevada State Athletic Commission or the other fighter. In tests administered to Mayweather by Nevada State Athletic Commission for fights in 2011 and 13, he posted unusually low testosterone ratios, either of which, as expert described to Hauser, should have served a warning flag for doping. Doping, wow. Another anti-doping agency, VADA, charges less than USADA and gives more stringent testing. Can you believe that? VADA. Let me tell you something. USADA 6.1, VADA 4.1, and they charge less and they do more. Something Mayweather will never in his life. That's why he's retired. He would never have anything to do with VADA. In 45 fights in which it has done testing, USADA acknowledged just one boxer caught with PEDs, Morales, whereas VADA had found 3 positive results in 18 fights. Who do you think Mr. Mayweather would go with? Travis Tygart is in his back pocket. One reads all these apparently well-researched articles, and one wonders why Pacquiao was not allowed to get treatment for his injured shoulder before the Mayweather fight, while the latter, who has made libelous remarks that Pacquiao takes performance enhancement drugs, is allowed to receive those 2 injections, IV injections. This smacks of hypocrisy and perhaps racism. At any rate, the FBI should investigate Mayweather, like Kenny Lopez, Ms. Cortez said, and this great BusinessMirror.com article. Let me see, who was the author of this? Vincent Jusiel. The USADA and even the Nevada State Athletic Commission, with particular emphasis on the relationship between Mayweather and USADA, a recipient of the U.S. government funding, throw into that comprehensive investigation the Nevada State Athletic Commission too, and the 18 other boxers that could include other Pacquiao opponents, with special attention to Angel Memo Heredia and his boxer employer for December 2013 fight with Pacquiao, where Juan Manuel Marquez, who had a regular physique, all of a sudden comes in looking like Juggernaut, looking like the Terminator, looking like the Hawk, and we all know what he was on, and that's why he ran out of the arena in his last fight against Alvarado. Ran out. He had pimples coming from his chest. I don't know. All these guys discredit boxing and sports in general, and they should be exposed and condemned to hell. And for their cheats and hypocrisies, they are, if found guilty, you will not find out, because they will sweep it under the rug and they will get away with it. This is bar none the truth. Please take this time to subscribe. We will be covering boxing here, and we're just giving you our vindication.